So this is whatever. I'm gonna do the video like this because there's not much thought put into it. Just like there's not as much thought put into my strategy either. There is some things that I adjusted here and there. I don't know if I'm gonna add something to the end of this video. I will if I, feel like it. But otherwise, again, this is really just me going in and just doing whatever I want. So obviously, again, I try to do mechanics. You should, normally, unless you have some strat planned out, I know there are probably more than a few people who have videos and stuff up already. Again, I just wanted to put up my own experience just so I can, see how I may improve things later on. But otherwise, this is just the Phoenix fight that, pretty much my first time going through. I obviously did it a few times. If you're going full might, this is... It might take more than one try. Aside from, yes, there are no summons here, so if you use summons, if you grind a bit more, maybe it helps out. Again, I didn't really look into anything. This is just me literally hours after I went through the demo myself, doing all the research, because otherwise you wouldn't have the things that I may or may not have with me right now. And I'm here with the boys, and yes, I could perfect guard a lot more, but again, this is just me trying to see, feel things out myself before I really stop and think about anything else. So I think this is about like 6th try, at least, around 6 tries. So obviously, if you're watching this video, it turns out for the better, but there are a lot of things I could be more efficient in, and if I were paying attention to every single weakness, then yes, I could be a lot more efficient. But obviously, dodging unblockables, blocking things that I should be blocking, or perfect guarding when I should be perfect guarding are very obvious examples. Other, less, again, apparent examples are using weaknesses for the ads that the Phoenix is tethered to, because if you don't, obviously, for those who have tried it out themselves, you can't really deal any damage to Phoenix until you get rid of those tethers. So, which I thought is funny, because in Remake, I feel like there weren't as many mechanics that you really have to pay attention to, compared to even just here in Rebirth. Even for normal monsters, when you need to pay attention to what you need to do to defeat monsters much more efficiently. Obviously, you can kind of just brute force a lot of other things, but for Phoenix, for summons in Remake, you do want to pay attention to the very, very simple mechanics they throw in your face. And then when you learn more information, and then you get into getting the feel of things, when to dodge, when to block exactly, things turn out a lot better. Here, though, since I'm playing with full might, I do have to be a bit more aware, so I kind of tweaked things in between. You saw me throw a bio out. I'm not sure if you can throw it out while it's tethered, but I just decided to throw it out at some point because, well, it has a decreased resistance to bio. Why not throw poison on it? So, therefore, that's what I did. As for playing with the boys, I'm still getting used to the synergy skill system and the abilities, the synergy abilities, so learning when is the most optimal time to use them, getting more efficient with using them aside from just mashing here and there, as I am also mashing attack. But again, this is more a feel thing. That's not really an excuse, but it's something that I'm learning to learn the feel of, so that I can concentrate more on seeing what's on screen. Because obviously, if I'm gonna mash, I should be able to pay attention to what's on screen. Because when a Phoenix skill pops up at the edge of your screen, there's no excuse. You should be able to see it. Not everyone can do it. Even I'm messing it up at some times, so when Phoenix dive bombs me from off-screen, I'm going to get hit. But here's Rebirth Flame. I might as well stop to talk about this, because you might have noticed that I've been kind of pacing myself, or trying to pace myself, to make sure I'm topped off, and then make sure I cast an AoE spell. And I think that's the main adjustment I made, was to equip the protective material, protect/shell, and then tie that in with AoE so I can just get that in before Rebirth Flame. But there's no reason not to throw it up and have it up at all times during the fight, because there's a lot of magic damage going out. And as you've seen right there, like, Cloud just can't take a hit. Granted, I do have a lot more mitigation on Barret and Red, just by nature of whether that's just max HP, material that helps out with increasing magic defense, things like that. Again, I didn't really pay too much attention, but all I know is that Cloud was not topped off. I don't think Barret was topped off either, but that's the big thing to take a note of. Because that one is pretty much, unless you burn the boss down, I don't doubt there's a strategy to just burn the boss and somehow one-shot it before you even cast its scripted Rebirth Flame, but as Cloud goes down there, yes, this run is quite messy. I can narrow escape from that AoE, but if you're comfortable with dodging AoEs, yeah, just find the safe spots and stand there. Hurt boxes are kind of thick here and there, but you make do with what what you have. As for Red, though, I'm really liking Red because of Red's innate abilities to drain HP and recover MP if you're using the Limit Break, but mainly MP. That's why Red became kind of my main spellcaster here, but really, I think I have, like, Cure on each character because for safety reasons, so yeah, if that isn't already another indicator of how mishmash I was in this fight, boy. But yeah, as Phoenix kind of dive bombs me and pushes me around, again, not really anything too fancy. A lot of brute force going in, a lot of optimization that I should go into, or should be learning, and then a lot of kind of panic limit breaks here and there, because obviously working with just 2 characters, you could go into solo. That's interesting, but still, trying to make the most of the characters that you have. I really didn't want to play this, do this fight again. It would have taken me a lot longer. Again, learn and adapt. And as it does Empowering Flame, Assess directly tells you to stop it before it casts too many Empowering Flame, because I think after 2 casts, I think is what it says, it'll cast Rebirth Flame, and you don't want that. So here I am just rushing it down and making sure that it dies. But yeah, without further ado, if I add anything, it'll be at the end, so timestamps should be available. Otherwise, that'll be that, and then I'll keep doing what I do. So yeah, without further ado, please subscribe if you want to support me at any length. Otherwise, I'll see you later. Thank you for watching. Bye!